Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to Coffee and a Card. I'm Jess. How's everyone doing? I love this little midweek check-in. And this one's extra special. Super exciting. I'm just going to pull everything up on my computer so I can see as people come in. Hi, Glenda. So excited to share some awesome news. Hello, Judy. Tell me, is everybody ready for Easter? What's going on? Are you porch dropping things, or are you celebrating with the people in your household? What do you normally do? We're doing a little Easter egg hunt here, just for everyone in my house. So that's super exciting. Oh, just need to pull the page up on my computer. Ooh, New Brunswick, how is it out there? Today the weather here, I'm in Ontario, it's very dreary outside, so it's interesting working on some spring projects, and then outside it's raining and dreary, but it makes you feel okay with being inside. At least that's what I tell myself anyways. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, good morning. Sorry, I'm just trying to pop up the page so that I could see all of the, sorry. So tell me, have you guys, this is what I'm guilty of doing, like literally every year, is I buy like the dye to like, to make eggs with like hard boiled eggs, and then I think you hard boil the eggs and then you dye the eggs in the little kits. But I have been so guilty that I have like probably 4 of them, and I probably should break them out this year because they're piling up, and I think it's something that's so fun to do. Even though my son, he's getting a little bit older, so he's getting cool and he doesn't want to always do things. But maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year. Sorry, I'm just having some issues pulling up what I need so that I can see everyone's lovely comments. Here we go, finally. Yay, technology. Why is it? Oh, there we go. I just hit the wrong. Ta-da! Found it. This way I don't have to look up on my phone and see what everyone's saying. Awesome. Ooh, it's going to 15. That's awesome. I find here the weather gets, like, it says it's going to be like 10 or 12, and then I think, oh, I can put my son in like a spring coat, and then it's really like feels like 2 or 3 because of the wind. So it's always an interesting time of year to figure out what the weather is going to be like. So it's best to just dress in layers. But yeah, everyone, let me know where you're from. Next 2 days, not snow. Yeah, I guess that's the thing, right? Some people in Ontario and beyond have snow. Like, I know Saskatchewan had like a really big snow and ice storm, and it's like, oh my goodness, okay. So it could be worse. It could always get worse with the weather. Oh, that's so funny. I was just talking about Saskatchewan. Michelle, is it Michelle? Hello, welcome. So I have a fun announcement that I've been working on with Rhea behind the scenes for a long time, and we're super excited to launch our brand new monthly kit. So this kit this month is called the Spring Fling kit, and I will show you everything that comes in it, and then I'll go through all of the items that I have here, because we're going to create a couple of the cards with some components of the kits. So I will show you because on my iPad, because my printer did not work. So here is our brand new kit that's available in the shop now. So that's a look at the whole, all of the items. I'm going to go put a link in here too, in case you wanted to head over and check it out, because I'll probably get into some crafting and forget to put it here. So that's the link to our brand new kit. So included, you get a Hefty Doodle stamp set, Big Bug Hugs, and you get a Dotty Lottie stencil, and you get a word die, sequins, action wobblers, pattern paper, and then you get 3 sheets of alcohol-friendly paper, 2 sheets of black cardstock, and 3 sheets of watercolor cardstock. So everything that you need to kind of create right outside of the package. You grab it and you can, craft for days. If you need to escape to your craft room because your family's driving you insane and you need some cuteness, this has you covered on all fronts. So super exciting. So this retails in the shop for $54, which I think is amazing considering you get a stamp set, a stencil, a word die, sequins, pattern paper, all the paper you need to create many, many cards. I did 3 samples that I'll show you, but you can definitely continue crafting on and on and on. So that's kind of a look there. We recently updated our internet, so I just realized this morning that, my printers that are in my craft room no longer work. So yay to the iPad to the rescue. And then here's a look at some samples that I created. So here's a cute little one featuring the action wobbler with the little bee. Oh, thanks, Glenda. It's so cute, and it's perfect for this time of year because we're all thinking about spring. And I love that it could go on into the summer as well. It's not specifically geared to a holiday or a short amount of time, because spring in Canada, not so long, but I love that you can get the spring feel and you can bring all of this awesome kit on into the summer if you have some components left. So that's cute there. That's a little set there. And then this little card here, created with the stencil and the stamp set. And then this sample as well, again featuring the hay and the cute little images and the pattern paper. So I'll show you kind of the components that I have on hand, kind of an up close. So you get some action wobblers, mini action wobblers in the kit, so you can make more than one card with the interactive feature. And then you'd get some clear sequins. And this is a closer look at the Heffy Doodle stamp set. So you get a bunch of images. You can create scenes with the grass. I think it would be super cute. I saw a design team member make a card with the little worm on a little hook with alphabet dies, and it said, "I'm hooked on you." And I thought that was super cute, especially in the summer. If you have your husband or grandpa who loves fishing, I think that's super cute to send for the grandkids. And then it has a bunch of awesome sentiments like Happy Bee Day, Flying by to say, to my little cuddle bug, congratulations, because I love the puns with Heffy Doodle, sending you big bug hugs, and you make my heart all fluttery. So I think those sentiments get you through so many different occasions. And then, that's the back of that. And a stencil, super cute. Some pattern paper. So these pattern papers have images on the back, and then this one has journaling on the back. So depending on what you get in the kit, you can use some of the back, or you can choose to use the flower side. And then your cardstocks. So that's awesome. So I thought we would create some cards, recreate some of the samples that I made. Let's get right into some fun cards here. Hello, Margaret. Hello, hello. I'm so excited. This is a special Coffee and a Cards edition featuring our brand new Spring Fling card kit. I just put a link in the comment section if you wanted to take a closer look at all the components, but I'm going to recreate one of the samples I made using the kit. So I thought we could craft along together. Oh, sorry, that's not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this card that we're going to create. So we're going to recreate this card here. So the first thing I did was I die cut, or you can just trim if you don't have the stitched rectangles. Stitch rectangles are kind of my addiction. I use them on every single card because, confession, I can't cut straight. So this really works well for me. So that's the first thing I did. And usually what I do when I create cards is I just work on the card fronts and then I'll add them to card bases afterwards. And then I went ahead and I cut a strip of the yellow pattern paper. This is about 1.5 inches, and we're going to just put it down here and then just trim it off. Hello, Charmaine. Hello, hello. Hi, Glenda. So that's kind of what we're looking at for our background. This is a different card. So we can start by coloring the cute little bee. I'm going to start, so usually when I'm coloring, if the item is black, I tend not to use the true black. I'll go in, hello Ellie, I'll go in with the ice gray shades, which the IG9 is pretty dark, so you kind of get that feel, and then it allows you, thanks Charmaine, it's so cute, and I love that it makes you think of sunshine and nice weather, even though today it's raining over here and I hear some people have blizzards, so super fun. So I'm going to go in with the IG9 and I just kind of guess where I think, you know, the shadows are going to be. If there's no clues that that's obvious to me, I'm not an artist, I'll just kind of guess and pick a side. So I just decided to pick that side, and then I'll go in with the medium tone with my tri-blend marker and then blend out, and then finally use the lightest tone and blend all the way. Just like that. And I love that this bee doesn't take a whole lot of coloring. It's just a little bit of yellow and ice gray. Then I'm going to take the yellow. And the same thing, I'm just going to pick where I think it's darker. And then just take the darkest tone and start from there. And then since I already have it open, I'm just going to also color the other area as well. Oh, I use for when I'm coloring, so that's a good question, Charmaine. Charmaine asked, what ink am I using when I'm coloring? So for when I'm coloring with alcohol markers, I always use, not this one, I always use Memento Tuxedo Black ink. This one plays really nicely with alcohol markers. I know there's some hybrid options out there as well, but this has been the first thing that I went to, and it's the kind of thing that I reach to all the time. If you wanted to color, for example, with watercolor markers, then you would want to use VersaFine, a pigment ink, just so that it reacts better to the water than the other Memento. So if you're going to be using watercolor-based markers, the VersaFine Black Onyx, and if you're using alcohol markers, the Memento. Those are my go-to options. And that's the thing. So if you stamp with the VersaFine and you try to color with the alcohol markers, you're gonna get some fading and some running on the paper. And the other important thing is the paper you stamp on. So when you're alcohol coloring, I use the Spectrum Noir Ultra Smooth cardstock, or you can use the Nina Solar White, which is amazing as well. And then when you're coloring with watercolor markers, you need a Bristol Smooth cardstock or watercolor paper. Yes, it's on my list to check. I think MFT has a new one. It's in my cart that's ever growing, and it's fun to make bad choices about what's in your cart. But I'm definitely curious at other ink options. And then Catherine Pooler has an option too. Hello, Pat. But the only thing with the Catherine Pooler option for the black ink is that it will stain your stamps. So if you're okay with your stamps getting stained, then that's totally fine. If not, then you would use the Memento or the MFT. Gina K, I think, has one as well. So there's definitely the upside to hybrid ink is you just need one for all your color options. But I've just always used the Memento, and it's just kind of what I stick to. And I finally invested in a re-inker for the Memento instead of just buying them. So now I'm committed. But it doesn't mean I don't love trying new things that always come out. So for the little wings, I'm going to take an IG1 marker and then just kind of highlight around. So when the item is translucent or white, I add a little bit of hint of gray just to kind of let it pop up from the page. And then of course, if you watch my lives, you know, none of my critters are complete without a little bit of blush, because it just adds that little bit of life to them, and a little extra detail. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And so that's our little bee. And then we're going to go ahead and assemble. So this is the hay die that's included in the kit. I went ahead and I die cut it 3 times, one with the black cardstock and then twice with white cardstock. And then we're just going to layer them together. It's kind of like making your own ephemera, which I have just discovered as a card maker. We're used to like die cuts, and it kind of, you can make ephemera forever. So that's awesome. So that's kind of like your own little way to kind of create an endless supply. I'm gonna look for my glue. Ah, there it is. So that's kind of why I love the word dies, is you can make as many dies as you want, and you don't have to kind of hoard all of the items. And then even if you're kind of new to card making, I would recommend getting like a small die cutting machine. There's a lot that is there's a lot on the market that's kind of nicely priced, and it kind of lets you take smaller die cuts, and then you can go ahead and create as many pieces as you would like. But then once you kind of discover like, hey, you know, this is definitely something I want to invest in, something like the Gemini Junior would probably work out really well for you, because you can expand and it covers all of the main card making sizes. But I do love for the word dies, you can pull out a smaller die cutting machine and quickly create a word die like that. And then you don't have to be choosy about what you use it for. Hello, everyone who joined. Hello, hello. So the next step is I am going to go ahead and attach this to the front of the card. Just like that. So I love how nicely this Echo Park collection goes together. I definitely have a paper addiction. So it's so awesome that you can kind of have a quick background come together super seamlessly. So I'm just gonna trim the edge off here. That, and then we're going to add the sentiment before we add some dimension. I've done that before where I add all of the dimension and then I'm like, oh, now it's time to stamp the sentiment. And then you got to be really careful about stamping it in the right place. So add that there, and then we're going to figure the hay is going to be here. And then I'm going to pick the sentiment, Happy Bee Day, because we can never have too many birthday cards on hand. Oh, I just realized, let's put that more into view. Yesterday I was running some errands and I went to Shoppers Drug Mart, and I had to go down the card aisle, and I was just had this feeling of like, because they had like little spots where you have to stand to make sure that you're, you know, far away from everyone. And I just remember thinking, this is something that I never have to worry about. Never have to worry about going to the store to buy a card. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. Just like that. And I just noticed that some ink is on the window, and that's not happening today. Let's not have some residual ink. Usually you're fine. It's just I know when I'm due for an ink mishap. So we've added the sentiment there. Oh, stamp it one more time. Usually the VersaFine is good in one go, but perfect. And then I'm going to wipe it away. And then add it back. Like that. So now we've got most of our components here. So now I'm going to glue the Hey word die down. This die, I've used it like countless times. I just love how you can pair it with stamped sentiments. It kind of is the perfect length to kind of fit in so many different spots. And I love the Lawn Fawn glue because if you make a little mistake, it dries clear. So that's amazing. And then here's our little action wobbler. So the action wobbler is going to be a little bit bigger than the image. So I just go ahead and I just cut around it. So I will remove this backer. And then add the little bee on. And it is clear, so it's fine if you just wanted to leave it alone, because sometimes it's hard to just leave good enough alone. But you can leave it clear like that, or you can just trim around it if you like. So I'm going to just trim around it. I can find my little scissors. Just like that. So I just trimmed it out down so that no one can see that little detail. And then I'm going to just take the backing off of the back of the action wobbler and stick it in place. And there. I just cut my nails, so it's hard to get into places. And then just glue it down like that. And then you have a fun little action wobbler element. And of course, no card is complete without some sequins. So I just kind of take an array of different sizes and then just glue them in place. So what do you guys think of the kit? Do you find that you work well when you have kind of coordinating projects together? Kind of unlocks the inspiration. Just kind of put the sequins like that and then glue them down. And then here we go, finish that up there. And that's the first card from the kit. Hello Jan, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining, I'm so excited to announce our brand new Spring Fling card kit. So I'm just creating some samples using it. And I will show you once again what the kit looks like. So this is, it comes with a stamp set, a stencil, word die, pattern paper, and then 2 sheets of black cardstock, 3 sheets of alcohol-friendly paper, and 3 sheets of watercolor paper. So it's super fun, and it's so bright and cheery and comes with everything you need to make kind of an endless amount of cards. Oh, Jen, no worries. I'm just glad you're here now. That's so amazing. Oh, interesting, Charmaine. You don't think you've ever bought a kit except digital. And that's funny because I don't think I've ever bought a digital kit before. I just love stamping things. I've tried digital stamps before, but I find, well, the major problem I have with digital stuff is my printer doesn't like the heavier cardstock. So that's kind of problematic. And then if I get it like printed somewhere else, you can't use your own paper. So when I can manage to get it printed out, I do enjoy, like, you kind of have instant gratification, but I love all the other kind of techniques you can do with like stamped images, like heat embossing and stuff like that. Oh, thanks, Jan. I think it's fun. I get the Scrapbook Cards in Today sampler kit every month, and I just love how you kind of, when you get a kit that's already curated, you kind of open it up and then you just kind of like let it flow. Like for this, all the images go together, all the paper goes together, the word dies, and then you can just reset your crafty. Sometimes you get a little bit, sometimes I get into a little bit of a, you know, not a rut, but sometimes you just need to focus and have some me time. So it's definitely fun to have everything already sorted out and you can just create. So for our second card, we are going to recreate this one here. We're using the stencil and coloring some more images. So we'll start by ink blending the background. I'm just going to grab my waffle flower media mat. Where is my media mat? Or not. Oh, here it is. I got worried there. I was going to call out the missing craft supply department. It's like, we've got a crime. I thought my cat might have taken it somehow. So I love that the mat kind of is silicone, so you can kind of put the paper down and it doesn't move. And then here's a look at the stencil again. And so I'm just going to kind of put it in place. And if I was using my larger mat, I wouldn't have to really keep it in place. But because it's the smaller mat and it's not at level, I'm just going to add a little bit of washi tape. But if it fits into the spot, then it's nice that the paper doesn't move around. Perfect, just like that. And so we're gonna basically get a bunch of different colors with one stencil. So I'm gonna gently mask around all of the spots. So we're gonna start with the Distressed Oxide ink in Wilted Violet. And then I'm just gonna kind of selectively color some purple spots. And the spaces in between these dots kind of allow you to not have to actually mask it with an actual like piece of memo tape. You can kind of have enough space to maneuver around all the different colors. And then I'm going to use some cracked pistachio. That, and I'm just kind of randomly picking where I should go, and I'm going in groups of 3s right now to get a variation of color, and then I'm going to use Squeezed Lemonade. Just love these Tailored Expression brushes. It colors right on them, so I don't have to really even think about it. I can just grab and go. And then we're going to add some blue. tumbled glass. I think my favorite blue in the whole oxide line, which says a lot. But I think my favorite color in the whole line is Kitsch Flamingo, because I just love the pink. That, and then I'm going to use another purple. Oh. Shaded lilac. For the rest of the spots. Just like that. So you kind of get a fun mix of colors. We got one more little dot so we can make it a yellow. Just gonna make sure there's an even color throughout the whole dot. Then my most favorite part is when you get to reveal, when you remove the stencil. I'm running out of ink storage. Just like that. So that's our fun little background that we created. And then I'm going to clean this right away. Just always so paranoid about it getting stained, and it, even when I think, oh, I've finally done it, I've stained it, everything comes off. So that's good. Okay, so that's our little background. And then we're gonna trim down some of the pattern paper, which is a fun pink plaid. To create our card front. Normally I use the die. Oh, you know what, this trimmer does not allow me to measure all the way, so I'm just going to add a little pencil mark. This is right here why I use my die. But my Gemini is a little bit loud live, so we're just going to trim it with our paper trimmer. Like that. And then by 4 1/4. Which also doesn't fit in my mini cutter. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to invest in a better trimmer. Like that. So that's our card front there. It's got to be simple for me. Math, measuring is not my not my forte. So that's our card front, and then I'm just going to glue it in place. Like that. And then we're going to go ahead and add the sentiments. I think both the magnets have migrated to my larger Misty, but there's one stuck right here. Where's the craziest place you've ever found your Misty magnets? I found it underneath my chair, like on the, because it's a metal, it has metal legs, and it was, I swear I've searched for days and days and days, And finally I was vacuuming and I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, good thing I didn't reorder it. Because usually when you think something is missing and then you reorder it, that's when it shows back up. So now we're just going to add the sentiments. To kind of, it'll ground where we're going to place our images. So we're going to put flying by to say there, and then congratulations. So this sentiment I thought was super cute if your kids are kind of graduating or going into another like grade level, like a really big milestone, because I love how it says, you totally snailed it. It's so cute. So that's kind of what I was thinking for where the sentiments will be placed. And I love the kind of storybook feel that you get. So that looks good to me. Maybe put this a little bit center. Put that down there. So this is when the overthinking comes in. I'm sure as card makers, you all can understand. We've got kindred spirits here. And all the recipient will see is cuteness. Go ahead and stamp the sentiments. Perfect. Oh, and then just the little U needs a little touch up. Awesome. And then, so I don't transfer ink, because that's what I'll do, and that's fine. That's just where a sequin would go. But let's clean these guys up. And then add the word sentiments back. Just love how the set is jam-packed with so many different ways to build sentiments. Super fun. So that's our card front so far. And now all that's left is coloring some more lovely images. So we'll start with the worm. So we haven't colored him yet. And I'm going to use the Jade Green Blend from my Tri-Blends. And then again, I'm just going to go in with the darkest color, just where I think the sun won't hit the most, where the shadows will be, and then take the medium tone and in circular motions blend out. Has everybody here tried the Tri-Blend markers? Or are you a Copic aficionado? Copics definitely are harder for me to use just because I'm used to the bullet tip, but they all play well together. So then I'm just quickly blending out with the lightest tone. And then you can kind of continue to build on color until you're happy with the shade. And then of course I'm going to add a little bit of blush. Of course. My marker didn't run off, because usually, hands up if that happens to you, while you're crafting, your craft supplies conspire against you and they run away. But then they're usually like right in front of you, literally right in front of you. Happens to me all the time. I was looking for my picket fence clear sequins for like weeks, maybe a week and a half. It feels like weeks without those sentiments, without the sequins. And I finally found it like in my little container where I keep all the new projects I'm working on. And I'm like, oh, there you are. There you are. If I'd replaced you, you would have shown yourself. And then we're going to color the grass next. I'm going to use, which green should I use? I'm going to use the light. I want to use the light green blend. Same thing, darkest to lightest. Everybody kind of finds their way that they like to color. You could also saturate the whole image with the lightest color, and that kind of gets the paper nice and ready to be blended. For me personally, for small images, I like to just start darkest and go to the lightest. But I love that everybody finds their way of using all the different tools. There's really no right and wrong way crafting. Grass like that, and then you can go in and add some highlights if you like. And then blend them out again. These images also work really well if you just wanted to do one layer coloring too. So if you are brand new to card making, brand new to coloring, you can definitely start off with the tri-blends, and you can just kind of start with one color, and then that way you definitely get more of like a storybook feel. And then you can kind of build your skills from there. So there's kind of all levels can create beautiful cards. And now we're going to color the cute little dragonfly. I'm going to color him blue turquoise. So I'm just taking the darkest color and then picking one side and then just starting there. Just like that. So cute. This reminds me, so the other day I was making breakfast in the kitchen and I saw a ladybug by our compost bin, our little compost container, and I was like, oh dear. And it's so funny with these little images, the Hefty Doodle world of cuteness. You're like, oh no, this ladybug is definitely lost. So I had to rescue her and take her outside to the grass. Hopefully she found her family, but she definitely had a better chance out there than in our kitchen, especially with our cats, because they don't miss anything. So then I'm just taking the medium and blending out until I'm happy with the look. And then you can continue to build on the color. Don't be afraid to, if you're not quite happy, keep building the color. And then of course, blush. Speaking of blush, I don't think I've worn blush. I don't even know. It's been months. So I'm not gonna wear makeup or have little blush marks. My cute critters on the cards will. So again, I'm going to take the IG1 and kind of outline the wings. And then I think we're going to add some stickles. It's kind of my one of my favorite things to do with wings, or like unicorn horns too, is to add some stickles. It's hard to really tell on camera that there's any difference with the IG one, but in person you can definitely see there's kind of a pop of color. Then we're going to color the cute little snail. We're going to color this one purple. Just like that. Darkest again. So definitely love these cute little critters. They remind me of spring, and it's officially spring. It doesn't feel like spring yet. Some days it does, some days it doesn't. So I'm taking the medium color and then just blending out. And then I'm going to take the lightest Yes, Charmaine. Yeah, it's so nice, the spring colors. I love the purples and the teals and the yellows. It's definitely my love language. And I love that this kit has everything you need. And honestly, for $54, that's very reasonable because, I mean, that's probably a stamp and maybe the coordinating dies. So this way you get everything you need to create something. There is the coordinating dies available in the shop for this stamp set. So if you wanted to, if you didn't want to have to fussy cut, it's definitely an awesome add-on to add, but it's not necessary at all. And then I'm going to color the little shell. I think I'm going to do light. Let's do really, really light gray. So I'm just adding the darkest one from the marker, just kind of adding around where the darkest points would be, and then blending out. Just like that. Oh, and also I wanted to mention for the kit, and if you are from the US, on our website, you can now shop on our website. So that's super exciting. Before we were only shipping in Canada. So for the kit, it's open to people in the US and Canada, and anything else you wanted to add as well. Just kind of can never have too many places that can be your go-to for crafty items, because usually when I see an item, I kind of go hunting on Google. And my first stop obviously is the Scrap Stamp shop, and then if it's not there, then I go out. So it's always nice if you're in the US and you have your regular places, it's kind of on your list of maybe what I'm looking for is there. So that's the fun little shell. And blush again. Oh, thanks, Charmaine. Thank you so much for stopping in. I hope you had a great coffee. I made tea and I am barely drinking it. Jan, I know Jan says it's not spring here after yesterday's snowstorm, but you have spring to look forward to, right? Or is Winnipeg or Manitoba weather like you go from like minus like 10 to like plus 20 in like the day? There's no spring. But these cuties can definitely work into summer as well. I kind of do like, when I was kind of figuring out what I wanted to put in the kit, of course you're always tempted with Easter images because they are so cute, but it's such a short kind of span that you can use it. I wanted to pick something that you can use pretty much all year round. Or at least, you know, spring and summer. I don't think there's anything wrong with using a bug card in the winter, but that's... Just put the wrong gray there. So we're going to switch it out and add the darker gray for the little bee again. Same thing, and then the medium and then the lightest tone. I think these images are also super sweet for like baby cards too. I don't know if you have anybody in your life who's having babies, but it seems like everywhere I look, there's some COVID babies happening. So that means baby cards. And then we're gonna add some yellow. I love when I put a marker back. It's like, that's nice. You still need it. But at least it's in the right place. Fun little bumblebee. His little face is so cute. And then blend out with the lightest tone. And then a little bit of IG1 and a little bit of blush. Some IG1, if we can find it. That's the sound of all of the things beside me falling over, in case you're wondering. It's just so funny to me how I put things down and I swear they disappear. I'm just gonna grab my Copic version of it. Like that. And then we're just gonna put them on the card front. I'm gonna pop them up with some 3D foam tape. Put the cute little snail on the bottom. It's basically saying, you snailed it, you did it. And then the little bee, we'll put some 3D foam tape up here, kind of have it flying by like that. And then the little dragonfly. Just cut them down to size as I need them. Take the backers off and then just place it kind of here. It's kind of flying, they're flying in. And then for the little worm, I'm gonna stick the grass over the worm like this. And then add some 3D foam tape to the back. Cut down a smaller piece as well. Remove the backing. Place him right here. He's hiding behind the grass. So I love how all the sentiments kind of match the little images we have. That, and then we're going to add some sequins, of course, and then I'm going to add some stickles. Just kind of placing them kind of randomly until I'm happy with where they are. That, and then another one up here. That, and then glue them down with the Lawn Fawn glue. Oh, thank you so much, Saxon. It's so cute. Definitely fell in love with this Echo Park paper collection. It paired so nicely with this fun spring fresh stamp set. So it covers birthdays and it covers baby cards, congratulations, we missed you. Basically a lot of different occasions together. And then that's our second card there. Super cute using the kit. And then our first one here with the little action wobbler. So that's so fun. So if you're just joining, I'll show everyone again what the kit looks like, what it comes with. And then there is a link at the top to our shop if you're interested, if you wanted to take a closer look. But here's our fun kit here. So it comes with the Heffy Doodle stamp set, the Dotty Lottie stencil, a Hayward die, sequins, action wobblers, pattern paper, alcohol-friendly paper, black cardstock, and watercolor paper. So it kind of gets you all into the mood for crafting, and you can kind of create a bunch of cards. I created 3 and I still had a whole lot of things left over. And then of course with the stamp set, the stencil, and the die, it's kind of evergreen and you can kind of always go back to it in your collection. So thank you so much everyone for joining. I had so much fun crafting along, spending the Wednesday afternoon my time, Wednesday morning with everyone. And I hope everyone has an amazing long weekend for Easter. On Sunday, I won't be doing a live on Easter Sunday just because we're going to be doing some Zoom stuff with my family. But I will be back next week and I'm super excited to do some more crafting. Thank you so much, everyone, and stay safe. Oh, thank you, Saxon. Thank you. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you.